Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Prodigy from Kilo 23. AirsoftPeak.com is always very kind in sending me a lot of parts to review, and so they're always a lot of fun to work with. Today we've got the Battleaxe Peq 15 box with laser. This thing is inexpensive, runs about $24.99, and you always get free shipping on it too, so that's cool. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to start giving grades to parts and guns and things that I review. Kind of a 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, go buy it, 1 being, probably avoid it. And I'm going to start doing that at the end of videos. So today I'm going to give this a grade at the end of the video based on a number of things. The cost, the quality, what it takes to get working out of the box, and anything else I can think of along the way. Like I said before, the Battleaxe Peq 15 runs about $24.99, and it comes with really everything you need to get started. A couple of Allen keys, there are a couple of different screw sizes on the device, and you'll probably need a flathead to install it too. It does have a 20mm Picatinny rail mount for any 1913 rail, and you can install it on pretty much any rail system out there for an airsoft gun. No Peq box is going to be complete without a set of stickers. These guys you can put on there and make it much more realistic, but be aware they are still stickers. You also get a small instruction manual. It is translated roughly, so it's easy enough to read, but I'd really just use the pictures on it. They're the most helpful thing there, and it gives you enough information to easily install your battery and get the device working pretty quickly. Currently I have my Battleaxe Peq 15 battery storage box mounted on my Echo 1 RDP. Mounts, like I said, on any 20mm rail, so it'll mount on just about anything I have out there. Right now I've got an Echo 1 11.1 volt Peq box battery in there, and this fits relatively well. It's about the biggest battery you can fit in there. Not tons and tons of space in there, but really enough for a 7.4 or an 11.1 Peq box battery. Battery install in your Peq 15 is reasonable enough. You're going to have 3 screws here, A, B, and C. You'll remove those and take the front plate off. You'll also want to remove one of these bands here, whether it be the top or the bottom or both. It's totally up to you, but you'll have to remove one of these to remove the front plate. With 3 screws removed, we can remove our front plate here. Just be aware the laser wire does run through the back of this, so you do have to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't get crushed in there. The laser itself does take a CR2032 battery. Those are pretty easy to find. You can pick them up at your local hobby or hardware store. There are also some pretty small wires in here, so when you do reinstall this, keep an eye on those. Try not to crimp them or else you can really damage your laser. The laser itself can be rotated, but there really isn't any kind of adjustment on it whatsoever. There aren't any Allen keys to adjust. If your laser is a little crooked, you can rotate it and kind of change the trajectory, but mine was pretty straight, and I'm really unable to do that. It just kind of rotates the dot a little bit, so wherever it's pointing out of the box is kind of where it's going to point forever. As you'll see, there are 3 nuts in here. They go into the 3 screws we took out earlier. Each of them was not glued into place when I opened this up, so I actually had a couple of them fall out and I had to go find them. So that was a little annoying. I ended up gluing those into place, which I highly recommend you do too. You probably want to open it up more than a couple of times, and obviously I had to do it a few times for review here, but I went ahead and glued those into place. I also noticed that the width here for the battery is pretty large. I ended up sanding down the sides of the little housings for the screw holes a little bit to help fit that in better. All of your wiring, including your laser wire, is going to run out the back here. There's a small hole in the back of the cap here. The cap can be removed just by rotating it, and it clicks into place, and it's held on by the little rubber clasp here. All your wires are going to go through there, including your battery and your balancing wire. Lastly, our mounting bracket here on the bottom. It is a metal screw here. It's tightened by a flathead screwdriver, but the mount itself is plastic. For me, that's not a huge deal because I really treat these pretty well. I don't drop them, fall on them, tighten them too tight or anything. But you guys that are dropping your guns all the time, tightening these too tight, you're kind of abusive with them possibly. This might not be the best thing, and you may need to keep an eye on this. Even though the laser isn't adjustable, it's actually pretty bright, and I'm just moving the Peq box here. You can see it easily 50 feet away in the day pretty nicely. It's a pretty big dot. It's not the most precise thing in the world, which is just fine because you're probably just going to be shooting next to it or near it, not directly on it. But for the cost of the box and the quality of the laser, it's actually not that bad. For $24.99, the Battleaxe Peq box is definitely not a bad device. If you pick this up at, say, your local retailer, it probably costs a little bit more, or if they have a similar model or similar brand, obviously it's still going to cost more. For the price, this is not bad at all. If you're looking for an inexpensive Peq box with a laser just for the heck of it, this will work just fine for you. Probably not the highest quality one on the market, but for the price, hard to go wrong. Like I said earlier, I did have to make some very, very minor modifications to get my battery to fit very easily in there and to remove it quite fast too. And once it's in there, you're probably just going to leave it and charge it inside of here. There's no real need to take it out or swap it out unless you really want to, or you're putting a new battery in, or you have some battery issues. So the pluses: inexpensive, comes with a cool little laser for fun factor, fits your battery, and obviously will look pretty cool on your gun. Very small, replicates a real life item, and it's just hard to go wrong with. So a lot of pluses there. The cons: you might have to do some small modification to get, say, an 11.1 volt to fit in here. 7.4, most likely being a little smaller, will probably fit a little bit better in this device. The laser is, for the most part, fixed position. You can rotate this and kind of rotate the dot, but I didn't find that it changed the trajectory of the laser at all. So it's pretty fixed where it is. I found that it shot pretty close to where the gun was shooting at about 30 or 40 feet away. And for really close range, that's kind of what your laser is for. That's just fine. I'm going to be using this on machine pistols, so that actually really helps me out quite a bit. 40, 45 feet, 50 feet maybe, is where the gun is going to be shooting for most of the most engagement distances. Lastly, because this is really intended for a LiPo battery, you're probably not going to fit a NIM or a NiCad or similar battery in here. You're going to have your balancing wires here, and there isn't a whole lot of room out the back here to fit them. It's really intended for the laser wire, your battery wire, and the balancing wires. So it's up to you how you want to balance that. I was able to get it to fit. It's just a bit of a tight fit, and getting everything installed and looking good can take a few seconds. But once it's there, you probably aren't going to remove it or swap it out or anything, so it's really not that big of a deal. Aside from that, the Battleaxe Peq box is actually really great for the money. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. Really the 7's for a couple of small things that I had to do to it out of the box to get it working the way I wanted to. Aside from that, it's a great little unit. You can pick these up at AirsoftPeak.com for $24.99. They're not bad for the money, pretty hard to beat for the price, really. And I like it. Works well, it's definitely going to serve a purpose for me, and it's a lot of fun to have. Having a Peq box around is kind of like everyone and their brother has one. You really got to have one, so you might as well pick one up for the price. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prodigy from Kilo 23. Big thanks to AirsoftPeak for letting me check out this item and all the other items we have to review in this batch here. Thanks, guys. Take it easy and catch you next time.